What is up, YouTube? So for months now I've been getting questions like, what shots do we get in boot camp? How do we know if we need to be vaccinated? Can I bring my old vaccines? And this video is going to apply to pretty much every single branch. So if you're watching this and you're not Navy, you're someone else, this is still going to apply to you. You're going to get the same shit. So here are the times for all the vaccines you might receive in boot camp listed around me. You can skip forward to that time, but I would suggest watching the first part of this video because it's going to explain everything, and you might watch vaccines that you might not need to get. So without further ado, so first of all, when you get a boot camp, they're gonna pull titers on you. And what that means is they're gonna blood draw and they're gonna see what you're already immune to. If you have vaccine records from the past proving you're immune to stuff, and I'm not talking about Dep, they're not gonna care about Dep, trust me. A lot of times it doesn't transfer over. So if you bring a shot record with you and you're able to provide that an actual health center gave those to you, then you might get out of those shots. But anyway, they're gonna pull blood on you, see what you're immune to. After that, the next day, they're gonna vaccinate you to what you still need to get immunity to. First and foremost, hepatitis A and B. Hepatitis affects the liver, it can cause cirrhosis of the liver, hardening of the liver, and pretty much it's preventable 100% if you get the vaccine. Hepatitis A is a 2-shot series, original, and then like 5 months after that, so 0 and 6. Hepatitis B is a 3-shot series, and then there's also Twinrex. Now what Twinrex is, it's a combination of hepatitis A and hepatitis B put together, and that's a 3-shot series just like the hepatitis B. Next is MMR, and likeliness is you've probably already gotten this vaccine and you're going to be immune to it. So does this really apply to you? Not really, but measles, mumps, rubella. Meningococcal vaccine protects against meningitis. Normally Marines are going to get this, and Navy and Army guys that go out places. Air Force might get it, I'm not too sure on that. Polio vaccine. Now polio vaccine is only required once, and you're gonna get it in boot camp, and you're either gonna get it in the arm, or they do have an oral polio vaccine, but most likely you're gonna get the intramuscular one. Now what polio is, if you guys don't remember, from like 1950s, polio used to cause paralysis, right? And it used to be an actual like problem way back in the day, but now it's preventable, so they are gonna give you polio regardless if you've had it before. Tdap, tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. So let's start off with the first one, tetanus, right? Deep puncture wounds. Diphtheria is a respiratory infection, and then pertussis, whooping cough. So if you're around kids, that's the new standard for military. That's required every 10 years, but the CDC guidelines did come out saying that tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis is only needed once, and then every time after that you can just get tetanus, diphtheria every 10 years. So after that you should be good to go. If you are planning on getting pregnant while you're in the military, you will get another Tdap your 3rd trimester, because then you can pass the immunity down to your baby. Yellow fever. You're only gonna get this if you're like deployable, you have a rate that's immediately deployable, otherwise they're not gonna waste the money on you. It is a live vaccine, it's subcutaneous, so it's gonna go back here in your tricep. Normally all the vaccines that I listed are gonna be way up here, unless you're getting MMR, because that's also subcutaneous. But when you get a subcutaneous shot, you're gonna put your arm like this, you're gonna pinch, go at an angle like this, and give it to you. Live vaccines are obviously a little bit more risky than the others, but this shot shouldn't do anything other than, you know, leave a little raised red bump on your arm. Typhoid. Typhoid protects against salmonella bacteria. Normally can be found in close quarters, so if you're going to be deployed on a ship, something like that, you're probably going to get typhoid. Typhoid's only good for 2 years. They do have an oral typhoid, which is good for 5 years, but they're not going to give that to you. JEV, Japanese Encephalitis Vaccine. Normally this is only going to be given to Marines because they're going to go through the jungle and play out in the woods and shit. It is transmitted via vector, which is mosquito. Rabies, just because they're at a higher risk of exposure when they're deployed, they might get bit by a stray dog, and then you gotta... And once you're done with the dog, you bring the dog back. But you're not going to get that straight out of boot camp. That's only if you get orders to a special place. Now, anthrax. Now, is anthrax really something you can prevent? No. Do we give it in the military? Yeah. So if you're going to some place like Bahrain, they're going to start you on an anthrax schedule. So that's 5 doses, right? 5 doses of anthrax. And when it comes down to it, if you come in contact with anthrax, if you inhale anthrax, you're dead. There's nothing you can do. They're small little pores, right? You've always seen like those movies where they put anthrax in an envelope and it gets on your skin. Even if you get the immunity to that, right? You take these 5 shots, all it's gonna do is prolong time for you to get to the hospital. So sure, if you get anthrax on your skin and you're vaccinated, you might have enough time to get to the hospital and pump you full of antibiotics, you know, try to skim off that one place, cut out that one place maybe, before the anthrax goes too deep. But if you inhale anthrax at all, you're done skis. You're dead. There's nothing you can do. There really isn't. If you haven't already, I would start your Hpv vaccine. They do offer this in the military. Hpv is pretty prevalent in teenagers. It's advised that you do it when you're 11 to 12, but some people get it done in the military. I got it done in the military. Could I already have HPV? Maybe. Males don't know if they have HPV or not. Could one of the girls I was with in the past give me HPV? You know, probably. Fucking Jody's.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
Super advised for females because that can cause cervical cancer, but you never really know until you actually start having the cancer. So better to just get the HPV vaccine as a pre-measure because it can protect against certain cancers, anal cancers, except the flu vaccine. You're gonna get this every single year. You're gonna come on a hit list if you don't get it. One of the things I'd advise if any recruiters are watching this video, anyone who's like on weird shore duty, go to a military base to get it documented, because right now I'm working in preventive medicine that works with immunizations, and a bunch of recruiters come in, they're like, yeah, I already got my flu shot. And it's like, well, can you prove it? And they're like, was that CVS? I'm like, all right, well, you're gonna get the shot today. Like there's nothing you can do about it. I wouldn't get it before you get to the boot camp. Just let them vaccinate you for it. It's not gonna hurt you. All these vaccines I just listed, besides the live vaccines, you can get over and over again. It's not gonna hurt you. Just won't have any effect if you're already immune to it. But the flu vaccine is seasonal. They have a nasal or an injection, but you're gonna get the injection because it's cheaper and it's not a live vaccine. All right, almost forgot about the peanut butter shot, the shot that probably every single person cares about. It's realistically the only one that's gonna hurt. It's Bicillin, which is a form of penicillin. If you're allergic to penicillin, they're not gonna give it to you, they're gonna give you a pill. But this goes in your ass, it goes in your left butt cheek. It's really fucking, needle's probably like this big last time I looked at it. Honestly, the needle going in won't hurt because it's all fatty tissue. But when they inject it, it's called peanut butter because it's so thick. They straight up take the Bicillin out of the fridge and inject it straight in your ass. It's so thick, it feels like a knot in your ass, and you're gonna have to roll it out. If you have a canteen or water bottle, use that as a foam roller and roll your ass out every night, because when you go to bed that night and you wake up the next morning, it's gonna hurt so bad. Pretty much, it's gonna help build up an immunity. I mean, that's the only reason they really give it to you. Depending on the environmental officer, you could get 2 during boot camp. Normally you only get 1, but a lot of times during the summer, the environmental health officer could issue 2 because he wants recruits to have a higher level of immunity. But besides that, that's the peanut butter shot. Don't be a fucking baby, it doesn't hurt that bad. Except it does, it hurts really bad. First you're gonna put it in between your legs and say, bad boy. Bad boy, you stay still. That's what you gotta say. You get one